praise report. I got a praise report. I got a praise report. I got a praise report. Testimony time. I got a praise report. Glory, hallelujah, joy is mine. I got a praise report. I got a praise report. I got a praise report. You got a praise report. Everybody got a praise report. Testimony time. I got a praise report. Glory, hallelujah, joy is mine. I got a praise report.
Peace, blessings. Shalom, everybody. Hope everybody is doing well, having a great day on today. Chosen Conversations. It's been a little bit. This is my first time I've streamed live on Facebook and YouTube live at the same time doing a Chosen Conversations. But taking things to the next level, as the Most High says and allows, first giving all praises, all honor, all glory to Him, in the name of His begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahusha, who is my kinsman redeemer, who is Adon, who is redeeming the lost sheep of Yasharal by way of the Ruach HaKadosh, the set-apart Ruach, set-apart spirit that He gave up as He laid His life down to redeem Yasharal. And that is now the comforter on this earth, who brings all things to remembrance, who is our guide through the Ruach and spiritual realms, whether we in prayer and supplication or living our practical lives. And for that, I'm thankful. All praises, all praises. So yeah, man, listen, we had a great time last night with my aunt, Hondo Alatunde. Listen, I told y'all that brother deep and righteous, man, devoted father, devoted servant of the Most High, first and foremost, devoted husband, just a devoted ock for the nation, period. He's a great righteous example, him and his little family, man, and you know, them little babies, man. Like I said, we check in all the time on each other, and he always say, yeah, everything copacetic. So I know it's all good at the Most High. It's been good. So we appreciate him being on the Truth Be Told Flex podcast extra last night. So yeah, man, again, giving shouts to the Truth Be Told Flex podcast family, Shir Yeshub Judah and his wife, Banath Shala Ahaya, that is the program director and the host. I'm so thankful for having them in my life, man. Sister Delta, the Light Hebrew Magazine, Brew News, Drip and Sip, next Sunday, 4 to 9 p.m., White Diamonds Bar and Grill in Dallas, Texas. We will be traveling this week, y'all willing. We ask for prayer and traveling mercies. Can't wait to see the whole Mishpaka. Can't wait to see the fam, everybody that's performing, Shanaim, Dr. J. Yoel. I finally get to meet his group, Harvest Digi Music. Man, Reggie Kodesh, I finally get to meet him, y'all willing. I get to see my brother Ilya again. I always see him at the events. He always pop through and roll through for the Most High. Yeah, man. I just can't wait to see my family, man. And even though I'm here in South Carolina, born and raised in North Carolina, and even though you got folks coming from, I want to say Reggie Kodesh is coming from Michigan, Ilya coming from Chicago. You got the Shanaim already in Texas. Sister Delta and Sheer and his fam is already in Texas. I can't remember where Shemayim is out of, but JOL, they're already. We all over the place, us brews. And yes, I cannot wait to see y'all, man. To give everybody a brother and sisterly hug and showing each other love. It's wonderful that even though we are spread out through the earth, that we can come together and commune and sup and dine and let the Most High's name be the sole factor we're coming together, right? To edify his name, right? And I'm thankful for that, because a lot of times, the one biggest misconception about Messianic Hebrews or Hebrew Israelites is that we don't get along. And it's just a bad misconception, because we do. And we love each other. We me and Hundo spoke on it last night briefly about some of the doctrines that are out there floating around. But for the most part, again, we have love for each other, and we have our moments where we disagree, we don't agree, or we may fall short, but we're not perfect. And again, this family, I just can't wait to see you guys next Sunday, y'all will. And like I said, we'll be traveling through the week, and I can't wait, man. It's gonna be a grand time. Let me fix my camera, y'all. I know y'all like, what's different? I ain't got on no hat. I don't have on a hat. Let me take these shades off. There we go. All right. So yeah, Drip and Sip next week. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We got 10 folks in the room. I'm thankful. Chosen Conversations. Again, Kingdom Culture Radio, Brew News, Like Hebrew Magazine, Truth Be Told Flesh Podcast family, my audience, or the Most High's audience. I'm just a vessel. Thankful. Thank you guys for tuning in today. I wanna if you go back, and the name of this Chosen Conversations is going to be titled Seasons. And if you go back and look at the Chosen Conversation, episode 23 in season 1, this is the third installment of season 2. That's 23 episodes in season 1. We're starting season 2. Like I said, I told y'all in the live the other day, y'all about to get sick of me. I'm about to be, the Most High is like, listen, all of the rejection and the non-acceptance, we got to get over that. And we got to be obedient to what the Most High is telling us. And if he's telling us what to say to the nation, everybody may not receive it, because everybody is not on, or how the word says, Mashiach was talking about the soil, 30, 60, 90, 100-fold. Some is going to fall by the wayside. Some is going to receive that thing 100-fold. Some is going to be choked up. Some is going to, the birds and the ravens. Most time in the word, when Mashiach or the prophet was talking about birds or ravens, they were talking about ruachs. Sometimes bird represents different ruachs, ravens, crows, vultures, right? Just like Python, the spirit of Python, how pythons blend in certain environments. And you think you don't see them until they strike, ready to devour. You know what I'm saying? So we all got to be cognizant of that. But going back to seasons, man, what season are we all in? Right? Episode 23 in season 1, I spoke about this and how sometimes, just as the leaves on the tree, they have to be let go. Right? Sometimes in different seasons, we may feel that tug, that pull, that pressure. You know what I'm saying? It may, and what the enemy wants us to do is get nervous when we feel that angst and we feel that anxiousness. And then that's how we get distracted. But this message is for everybody, but I want to more so take it Well, I'm already like a preacher, y'all. um, y'all know how I do. But our men, the protectors of the nation, our family leaders, I want to gear this towards the men because in this season and the next season are probably going to be some trying times. Not probably, but I'm saying it because again, when you go to Ecclesiastes 3 and Galatians, you'll see what, when I say probably, how and in the context that I'm saying it. But on yesterday, we gathered with some of the Mishpachah, man. It was great to see a lot of familiar faces. We were down here in South Carolina, and a couple of the Morays, some shouts to GAI. Moray, I want to say is D'Amico. I charge it to the head, not the heart, if I'm mispronouncing or getting it wrong. And the other Moray name, forgive me, Salakia, for it is leaving me his name, but he is the Moray of the Orlando Greater Awakening Assembly International. And he brought a word from Ecclesiastes 3:1 and Galatians 6:9. And it just resonated with me because I immediately thought about the Chosen Conversations in episode 23. Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven or under the Shamayim. Basically, there's an opportune time to do things. A right time to do everything on the earth. And we have to ask Abba for wisdom. Because in our flesh, especially as men, as the leaders of our families, as the protectors, we have to have the wisdom to not make choices out of our emotions. It's okay to have emotions, but we can't sin in that emotion. Be angry, but sin not. So if we do come across that emotion where we get angry, we get sad, when we're disciplining the children, we got to make sure that discipline is not out of an emotion because we were mad at work. And that alone is protection. And in some seasons, if the enemy wants to get the whole household, who does it go after first? The head. If the head is subverted, if the head is able to be tied up, then the whole household can be ravaged. So as men, as the absolute right under Yahuwah, yoked with Hamashiach, listening to the Ruach, we have to be able to, in season and out of season, receive what word that he has given us, what soul, stony grounds. We have to break up that stony ground, and that ox has to plow. It takes days, sometimes weeks, for that ox to plow. And in different seasons, when we yoke with Hamashiach, he is saying, look, young ox, you're going to be, when I leave and go prepare a place for you, there's another young bull, a young ox, that you're going to be teaching. So I need you to listen to every word that I give you, in season, out of season. Okay, now let's go straight. So y'all plowing that soul. He says, all right, turn right. But you want to question, well, why are we turning right? I see we got a whole nother field and a whole nother 30 rows, and we only got 2 more hours. And Hamashiach is thinking, well, we're going to turn right because we're going to go up and down this side a few more times. We got a whole nother week to plow the 30 rows on the left. Stay with me. But we get ahead of ourselves and we forget going back to Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything, there is a season. To everything, there is a season and a time to every purpose. There's a purpose. We're not turning left right now to go and plow and turn the soil to get it ready for those 30 rows. That will come. Don't worry about that right now. And again, as men, my wife will tell you. And yes, shalom, Sister Raceinette. Shalom, everybody in the chat. Shalom, Brew News, Sister Delta. Shalom, everybody. If I started the live and didn't acknowledge, like I said, my audience, my family. You're not my audience. You're the Most High's audience. You're His audience. I'm just a vessel talking to my family in this time right here. All praises. Yes, my cousin, Awful Misfit. He said, I literally just had this conversation with Uriah. Uriah is my younger cousin. Uriah is my cousin's son. And again, the Ruach is on point. This is why he says, give this message to everybody, but specifically the men. Because again, we're going into a season or seasons where our children, our boys, and our young girls, look at what the world is offering them, y'all. Shalom, yes, Josh Yoshi. Like I said, I had the pleasure of spending time and seeing familiar faces yesterday, man. And much love, much ahava to you and your family, Yosh. Love y'all, man. Can't wait to see y'all again. Y'all willing. Had a great time with you guys yesterday. Look at what the world has to offer our children, y'all. I mean, just in this, now you got this whole beef with Megan Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj. Have we ever slowed down and just listened to this, just their names alone? You calling a woman a stallion, and then another young lady who is a married woman. You got your stage name is the last name of a sexual innuendo. Like that alone, with children out in the world saying those things over and over again. I want to listen to Nicki Minaj. I want to listen to, you know what type of power and how we use energy that gives out, what those syllables we utter, what that says, who, not we, but as a people, how we worship, who we idolize. So you got them, and then you got the whole Tory Lanez being locked up for allegedly shooting Megan Thee Stallion, and then you got the Grammys and Killer Mike's sweep and his age and the arrest and Monique and Club Shay Shay. Like it's so much that we have to prepare our children for as the leaders of our household. And so when we say, or when we cliche things like we better get our house in order, now that is such a cliche. So when it's said, we kind of gloss over it and really don't. Oh yeah, I got my house in order. Yeah, I got my bills paid. We take trips. Our cars are paid off. I pay property tax on my land, but I own my house, and you know this and that. Is that really getting our house in order? Because we're blessed. And that's good. I'm not saying it's bad to have those things, but that's wonderful to do. But is our house in order spiritually, in order and in decency with the Most High? Are we yoked with Mashiach? When you are preparing your music, preparing your foods, if you have a business, preparing your art, preparing your hooks and your songs for events, are you preparing to put on a show, or are you preparing, praying, spending time with the Most High to make sure your soul is good and that you are yoked with Mashiach? Because that plowing or the actual giving the words to the people is going to resonate, because that one sheep has hopped the fence, or that one sheep is straddling the fence, just looking to go back to the world. We're going to get into that in a second. I'm not going to be before you long. Yes. Yes, babe. Our job is to minister, period. And that's, again, are we in this season? Are we yoked with Hamashiach? Are we in tune with the Ruach HaKodesh in this season? Check this out. Galatians 6, 9 and 10. It says, let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap. What? There's a condition. Listen, I'm gonna say it again, because we just stopped there. And back in the day, we used to, it's been so, we get theater about it. And not let us get weary and well-doing in due season. And then we stop, we dance, shout, we fall out, give our last offering, and that's it. We go home still defeated. We go home still bound, not knowing what to do in that season or that week, because we got an eviction notice. We got court hearings. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, let me read it again. Let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. Let's describe faint, right? In the live the other day, I spoke about the blacksmith and their job, how they design swords or weapons, right? There's a process, right? There is fire, there's a beating, there's cooling in the water, more beating, and then there's a period where the blacksmith, he lets that, whether it's a rod, poker for the fire, an actual samurai sword, or whatever, knife, dagger, whatever it is, hammer, some kind of weapon. There's a process after the cooling off period where they just let that weapon lay against steel, on that cold steel that it looks like a hammer, and it just lays there. Whether it's a day, hours, 2 weeks, and they come back and then they beat it again. Then they put it on the grinder where they're sharpening, and now you got more sparks flying. So you went from being in the fire, beating, laying on the steel thing, beating, put it in there where y'all seen where the blacksmiths put it in that water and they let it cool off and that steam be rising. They take it back out and they take another sledgehammer and they beat it again. They beat it again. And then they let it lay. So what season, what part of the process are we in? We fall weary and we faint because we think, man, boy, it seems like all of my friends or so-called friends and enemies and family members that spoke against me, told lies on me, they get new cars, they taking trips, they getting promotions at work. Every post I see is with them saying, and I'm not saying me, I'm saying hypothetically, you seeing a post about the job promotion, you seeing a post about a surprise party at work. It seems like they're doing everything and they talked about it. So you think you're doing something wrong. Like, man, Abba, what is going on? But then there's also a season where we are doing the same thing. Getting promotions at work, taking trips. Life is good. But what about the season where we're not doing so great? Men. What about the season where we feel that pressure, that beating, olives, that crushing, grapes to be wine, that pressing? How do we react? Do we react and make decisions out of our emotions? Or do we collect ourselves and say, okay, Mashiach, let's plow back like you said. And we be patient. And we have to wait and faint not. Listen to the next verse. As we have therefore opportunity, let us do good unto all men, especially unto them who are of the household of faith, those that are in the walk. We was talking about this last night, me and Hondo. Those that are in the walk. How do we treat each other? How should we treat each other? Get weary in well doing. Yes, that's talking about doing well to others, giving alms, feeding the homeless, feeding the poor, coat drive, book bag drive, back to school. Whether we, in our assemblies and camps, we give our tithes and our offering. Whatever your leadership says do in your assemblies and camps, you need to do. Yes, well doing, but well doing and keeping all statutes and commandment, as he told Joshua. Don't depart from the law. Meditate day and night. Keep it in your mouth. Keep the law in your mouth. Don't turn the right to the left. So at that time, that's what the word was for Joshua. In that season, in that time, in that purpose. We may see somebody else doing that and be like, we want to do that. But no, the Ruach is like, no. Put the blinders on. I need you to stay straight in this season. For these next 2 or 3 months, I need you to give till you can't give any more. Because then by the summer or winter or whatever season, by the time it's harvested, you're going to get stopped. Just walking. Hey, here's $100 gift card. I don't know why I felt led to give this to you. I'd be like, what? Hey, man, I was just happened to be walking in the store and, I was wanting this shirt for me, but every time I walk past, you just dropped in my spirit, man. I thought I had you on my mind. So I just want to buy this shirt for you. And it's your last. You didn't tell that person, but it was your last. You had to really, truly trust in the Most High to get back and forth to work, to buy food. Not saying that's all the time, but whatever again, is your soil worked on enough or churned enough to where you can receive that? Again, not knocking nobody who gives away used clothes. I'm not saying that I'm not saying we need to do that as well. But when was the last time we gave our absolute last? That's the widow. All we had. Again, I'm not saying that, it's whatever is the Most High is wanting you to do in that season, though. Right? So, yeah. Again, Dawid was tested. Let's see some of the comments. Yes, Alpha Misfit. I got 5 sons. My life, my decisions, how I treat others, and how I serve the Most High is the example they are always watching. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. To our men, how do we be examples? He said he got 5 sons. Those sons one day are going to be leaders in a family. So what examples? Do they see us get upset? They know they can hear a conversation. We just got off the phone with the bill collector. Everything was good. We was eating pizza, having dinner. Now the bill collector called, and now 5 minutes later, now we getting a whooping. Man, children, they know that, y'all. they pick up on that. Like, we was good. Daddy was good. So they know, wow, man, Daddy just made a decision now. He got emotional. Daddy was good yesterday, but Mommy dropped us off. And now we in the store. He just got into it with the cashier and somebody that cut him off in the parking lot. Ooh, they pick up on that. They see that. Again, we are not perfect. We're not perfect. Those things are going to happen. But do they become habits? Do we faint? Man, Pops ain't been drinking beer in some years. But this past week, he had beer every day. I've been there. I'm talking about me. I've been there before. Thank Abba for deliverance from all the vices. Is it drinking? Is it fornicating? Is it smoking? What do we faint in seasons where it gets that tugging, that crushing, that pulling, that pressure? Can we endure, not just survive, but thrive? What do we do, men? We got to spend time with the Most High. And how do we spend time with the Most High? We fast, meditate on His Word, get in that Word, get great accountability partners. Some brothers that'll tell us, that's not the move. Take that post down. You emotional. Who you been fussing with? I can tell you been fussing with somebody. See, we got to have brothers that will say that. Sisters, we got to have sisters, not just friends. We got to have brothers and sisters that'll tell you that. And that we be like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Let me take that down. Let me call this person. Matter of fact, let me FaceTime so we can see. I can see. They can see my eyes and understand that this is not just a I'm sorry, but brother, sister, I repent for what I done, and I'm. Let me make it up to you. Let's have lunch, and we can talk more about it if you like. If you don't, that's your decision. But I truly apologize, and actually repent and turn from that. Listen. It's so easy to faint in a season. And in the next season, where that harvest is supposed to come, those 30 rows are supposed to be, all the things, the 30 rows are done. Mashiach, y'all resting. You done planted the seed and that harvest is coming up. That seed fell on stony ground because you fainted. You stopped plowing. Come on, man. I can stop right there. I can stop. I hope we get that. You fainted. You went back 3-4 months ago. You don't even realize you stopped praying. You got to drinking and smoking again, hanging out in clubs and places. You stopped. You once repented and absolutely turned away from. Now you're back to it because you want to soothe those nerves. Right? You want to soothe those nerves. You want to soothe that pressure that you feel. Man, I'm telling you, y'all, I've been there. Mikal and Mahala could tell you that they were little, but it was one point in my life. Y'all remember the 32-ounce cans? This is the Truth Be Told Flex, but it kind of looked like it. I'm not comparing. Y'all know what I mean. The 32-ounce Budweisers, I tell my wife and my family all the time. See, before I make a testimony to others and try to give any kind of reproof, reproach, or correct, I'm talking to me because I was a 32-ounce Budweiser. I was drinking 3 or 4 of them things a night when I used to get off of work. Every night, y'all. Smoking every night. It was a lifestyle. But all praises, that lifestyle is being gone. All praises to the Most High for, again, deliverance, correction, and allowing repentance. Because I knew if I don't sow great seeds when McCall and Mahalik and my other sons and daughters are young, when they get old, as they are now, 23, 22 years old, they're going to be like, why should I listen to you? What kind of example, as my cousin was saying, what kind of example are we being? Right? So again, we have to just, man, like I said, I'm getting back to Dawid was tested. He was minding his business, doing his job, tending sheep. And here comes Samuel, waiting on him king. That was one season. The next season, he got with Saul, and Dawid didn't go right and tell the people to start singing, the ladies to start singing. They did it themselves. Saul slain thousands, David his 10,000s. There was an envy, a covetousness, and a jealousy rose up in Saul so bad He wanted David's life. That was another season, a whole season of Dawid running, another season of strategizing, and could have took Saul out. So see, and then look at the seasons he had when he actually became king, and all those different seasons. And what did the Most High call him? A man after my own heart. David would do, he would fall and faint, but guess what? He would repent and turn away from that thing. And maybe he would fall into something else, but he would repent and turn away from that thing. So he had his ups and downs, but what he would do, he would acknowledge it, confess it to the Most High, and correct it. In season, a time, and a purpose. In season, a time, and a purpose. The Most High allowed me to have a stroke and survive that stroke. Not only survive, but thrive. A couple of years ago was at the Hebrew Wall Street Fair was my first performance post-stroke. And I don't talk about it a lot, but that was a tough season because literally at the rehearsals and everything, and the doctors had told me, like, look, you know, your face is back lined up. You look like you don't even have a stroke, but try to keep in mind that you may try go and do something and your memory will leave you and not serve you at the moment. And that's going to be an effect of the two spots on your right side of your brain during the stroke that was affected. So I was like, well, what do you mean? So they broke it down, was like, you know, something you don't do every day that you're going to forget. And I said, well, what do you mean? They was like, well, balancing a checkbook. As soon as he said it, I was like, oh, okay, I get what you're saying. They was like, you don't do that every day, but once or twice a month, you used to do it. Now that you've had the stroke, you're going to go back to do it and grab that pen, and it's going to leave you. You're not going to remember it at all. So saying that to say, you know, I got up there at the Hebrew Wall Street and the song Woe started playing, one of my biggest songs. Yeah, all praises for that. And I forgot all the words. Every last one of them. All of them. And literally, I just called on Yahuwah's name in my mind. And as the song played, the words, every word before the next word started coming back. Another woe moment, and another reason that in that season the Most High just showed up. I didn't expect to get up there and grab. And as soon as I grabbed the mic and started, them Jones went away. Them Jones left. But that was 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago. And that's a whole nother testimony. That right before that, I'll share with everybody, had a situation in my job. But I don't talk about this a lot. Again, to be the example, you have to be the example. You just can't get up here and spout words. The words that the Most High gives to the people, he's going to give to you first. Before he blesses you and blesses the people, he will show you. So he will show me. And every time I read that word, it cut. I'd be like, man, Abba, forgive me. I didn't even see that when I read that. Sometimes you have to read it and then read it again and then read it again and read it again and read it again and keep reading it. So I lost my job, man. Crazy season. Crazy. I was like, Abba, what did I do? Had a stroke in 2020. 2022 come around right before we left for Texas in June. Lost my job. Went down there. Forgot the words. So nervous. First performance since the stroke. first ministering up in front of people. Man, got back home. I was like, Abba, boy, what did I do? Did I do something wrong? So in that season, I had to truly trust. Things were it felt like things were going bad. Truly trust. Long story short, took care of. I was thankful for the Most High that I was able to lead my family, be the head, and take care of my family even as I was out of work. I ain't told nobody this. Never told nobody this. Didn't have any prospects. I mean, and all praises, I'm thankful that I have a degree, but I still wasn't getting no work. I was like, man, what is this? I was like, yo, Most High, why did I do something? You left me? Like, what is going on? And my wife was just, baby, trust. I kept hearing that trust. The next season is coming. Sow the seed now. So I just began to just meditate, fast, and pray because I was really like, okay, the provisions I had in place, I was like, but that ain't gonna last forever. Because I practically put away a nest egg because using wisdom that from the Most High, you sometimes can sense. He'll tell you, prepare. And for the next season. But then I got for that in that season, and when it hit, it just hit. I was so devastated. Do y'all understand? That was in June. Do you understand? 7 months later, the day before the Gregorian Thanksgiving, my old boss called me and offered me my job back with, thankful, the most money I have ever made in my life. Again. In season. And what season are you in? And I'm not bragging about, I'm not saying that's not the purpose of the testimony. The purpose of the testimony is truly trusting in the Most High. Don't faint. Don't fall back to that lifestyle. Don't be on that fence. Don't be the sheep lost or straddling the fence. But if you do, of course, the Most High, he'll come in, the good shepherd, to come back and get that one and rejoice over the 99 that don't need salvation or freedom or liberty, of course. But what the purpose is in season. What season are you in? Men, we need to recognize what season. I'm so thankful. Do you know how I was tempted doing that 7 months? I had time on my hands to drink, go back to smoking, something I haven't did in 6, 7, 8 years, or even longer. But I just kept having to trust. Yeah. Wifey says that's because Yahuwah found you worthy through the test. Halal Yahuwah. Yes, listen, this is it. There'll be a season of testing. The Most High will test you, and he just as Job, just as Iob. That's where I received the name after my stroke from the Most High. Hasatan went and visited and said, hey, who was like, hey, man, where you come from? What you doing? Roaming the earth, looking for something to do. They consider my servant Job. But guess what? In that, as the Morey was saying yesterday, the enemy noticed the hedge. Why you got a hedge of protection around here, man? So you will say, oh, so you noticed the hedge. Okay. Well, I bet you if you let me take that money in them businesses, he always praying for his children because they sinning and winning. They think they sinning and winning and grinning. Remove that hedge and let me touch him. Let me tempt him. I bet you he'll turn his back on you. Most I was like, all right, go ahead. And in Job 120, after all the calamity, after hearing everything that was happening, said he shaved his head, tore his mantle, tore his clothes, and he fell to the ground and he worshiped. Because he knew the season that was coming up. He knew practically, man, my wife, we just lost our kids. We just lost our children. She was a mother. Yeah, she said what she said, but she was a mother that just lost her children, though. Like Job's wife got a lot of flack, caught a lot, and she still do. And just from what she told Job, yeah, justifiably. But she just lost children. In a practical sense, she had just lost children. So he knew there's about to be a season that's coming up that he fell to the ground and he worshiped. And in the back of that amber lamp was so cold, y'all. And my face was drooped down, and I could barely move my mouth like this. I could barely talk. My whole left side wouldn't nothing move. I couldn't even remember. I just remember Yahuwah. I just started calling on his name, Yahuwah. Thank you. For some reason, I'm still here, laying in this cold box, but I still have breath in my body. For some reason. And I trust in that reason. I don't know why. But I chose to worship. This is before he gave me the name. Yo. This is before. That wasn't even a name like that. I was still T.R. Butler. We just got me and Malcolm. All praise to my beautiful wife. She picked me up and carried me to the living room from the bedroom. And I was heavier then. I was 270 pounds. And she carried me from the bedroom to the living room. And I remember the red fireman lights from the ambulance and the fire truck and the paramedics asking me all kind of questions. I could remember nothing. My children's names, the year they was born, I could remember none of that. Who was president at the time? I couldn't remember anything. But they put me in that ambulance. And I did remember the name of the Most High. And I called on his name. And I just gave thanks. I said, Abba, Yahuwah, I worship you for who you are. I give you praise for what you've done, what you're doing, and what you're about to do. That's what I knew to do at that time. That's what I had in me. That's what I did. 7 hours later, I was asking them doctors and my wife for a cheeseburger and a smoothie. They was like, bro, who are you? How you? After MRIs and CAT scans revealed that, you had on your right side of your brain, you truly had a real stroke. They thought it was a mini stroke, or what they call, some of the medical folks out there may know what a TIA is. They was like, nah, they ruled that out. By the MRI and the CAT scan, you had a full stroke, bro. And you walking around, no more facial deformity, no less mobility in my left side. All that came back. I was laughing with my brother, my Track City, my producer, some folks from work, my wife, my family, my mom, everybody, my aunt. They came up there. We were laughing and joking. They like, oh, he back, TR. Doctors were like, yo, what is going on? A Chinese doctor, Moab doctor, came in and was like, oh, you are blessed. He said, man, it's a miracle. He couldn't believe it. They do these tests. Like they hold their hands up and you push on their hands, and then they tell you to grab their hands and you pull them. And then they tell you to stick your hand out to make sure you're not shaking and everything. They did all that. It was like, yo, whoa, yo, what is that? Who are you? So again, in that season, they was like, yo, you got to wear a heart monitor and all this. Just stop coming to the doctor. We don't know what to tell our boss. You regular now. We don't know we got to make a case for you to do other patients that have strokes, but we can't. So stop coming. Our bosses told us to tell you to stop coming because we don't have a file. We can't write nothing. We just write, he good to go. Heart rate good. Blood pressure good. We don't know what happened. So they told. Alpha Misfit, this season, my season of isolation, restoration, gaining wisdom and understanding has increased me in ways I've never imagined or even thought I needed. See, in spite of my disobedience, arrogance, and pride, he came back for me days away from an aneurysm or heart and saved me. Wow, delivered me and rescued me. Wow, see, what a powerful testimony. That's what I'm saying. And you see how he says, in spite of my disobedience, arrogance, and increased me in ways I never imagined. See, in the season before, come on, man, that'll preach. In the season before, he didn't imagine it. See what I'm saying? But in the next season, it snapped. He repented, and the Most High didn't strike him down for that arrogance and kill him or take him out of here. Come on, man. That's what it's all about. His boys, his 5 boys, my little cousins, they're going to see that. And they're going to get some strength, some resilience from somewhere. They're going to see that. And opposed to, like I was saying before, man, daddy whooped us. Everything was good. He got off the phone with mama, and now he whooping us. Now they're going to see, man, daddy got off the phone crying, but now he good. He just came and hugged us. And then hours later, he laughing with us again, showing us how to draw, looking at a good movie, going to football with us, playing the game with us. See, they see that. Children see those things. And again, as men, how does the enemy get the whole household? He gets us first. So again, whole message, y'all. In each season, there's a time and a purpose for everything. So we just got to make sure that our wives, the women in our family, our aunts, our uncles, well, the women, our aunts and our women cousins, and then, of course, the elderly, our elders, our uncles, our pops, we got to make sure they're protected. We are the generation to protect them, the younger and the older. They can't do as we do. That's why we survive strokes. That's why we survive near aneurysms or heart attacks from stress. That stress, that beating. Who will beat me? He beat me down. I just said, though he slay me, yet will I trust. Come on, man. Like that, just, again, that's another verse we just cliche, and we just, though he slay me, yet will I trust. We get happy. We roll around the floor, go back home Monday morning. Oh, I gotta go to work. We just so defeated. Instead of getting up, popping up, being the light, affecting the whole room we walk into when we get to work. We just received in our soul 100-fold a great word of thriving and just not surviving in this season when everybody laughing at our music, everybody laughing at us, everybody don't like it, they talking about it. We got to get through that season, because there's a season coming where the presence of the enemies, the table is going to be made, it's going to be set. You're going to be in events and rooms that you were talked about in to not invite you. And the enemy's going to wonder how they still get invited. How did they make it here? So in the season before that, and you're going to have to buckle down. Shalom, Mark Hondo. You're going to have to buckle down and get real with yourself and the Most High. We could talk about other people all day, but we gotta be listening. I'm telling you, because this world out here, this darkness is getting darker by the minute. Read the other day, I was talking to one of the Mishpaka yesterday, in Memphis, a DJ in his 50s was beheaded. Like, what? He was beheaded. His brother came to check on him, and he had his hood on. He was laying on the couch, he had his hood on, so he said he just kind of left out. But he was like, wait a minute, he didn't move when I called his name or nothing. So he said he noticed the back door was open. So he came and pulled his hood off. He had gone. Gone. Just seen the other day, one of our sisters, I can't remember what was, I don't know if it's Houston or somewhere in Texas, Alabama. I guess the husband got away and told it. Now he's going to be in trouble too, but their 5 children were tortured. The 5 children are all alive, all praise to the Most High. But yeah, they were tortured. The 3-year-old she was about to put in the oven and cook them. You say, well, that's how it happened. Yeah, but it's happened. The rate that it's happening now, these killings and stuff is getting more frequent and more demonic by the minute. By the minute. a regular old DJ that happened to a DJ, not a drug dealer, but a DJ. I don't have the article, but it happened in Memphis. Go look it up. 50-something years old. Was beheaded. So we got to be the light. Men, we got to take care of our families. Men, we got to take care of ourselves. Me and Hondo was talking about that last night. As far as just being men, what we have to do to stay steadfast, unimmovable, not be shaken. It says soon be shaken. So soon means another season. In the next season, you can't be shaken in mind. That's how the enemy overtakes us, man. We have to deal with the practical. How do we apply the word to our lives in the practical sense on the daily? Right? So yeah, y'all. Again, I just wanted to encourage everybody today, more so the men. Excuse me, the Most High had that word directed directly, directed to the men. And it's, again, there's a time and a reason for each season and a purpose for each season, y'all. We just got to trust in the Most High. When we're going through the valley to get to that mountain, that's a season. When we get to that mountain and we spend a season with the Most High and he moves to a different mountain, we got to go back down that valley and get up another valley and another trail to the top of another mountain where the Most High's move. It's a season. So we got to do it right. So yeah, y'all, I love you guys. That is it. Again, please keep us in prayer as we go minister all the ministers of music that'll be traveling to Texas on this week for the Drip and Sip. Y'all willing, again, I can't wait to see y'all. Can't wait to dap y'all up, give everybody hugs and peace and the shalom. Truth Be Told Flex Podcast, everybody at Black Canvas Music, staff, man, you guys are amazing. My beautiful family, my wife, my daughters, my sons, the Ox that was in the building, everybody that was in the chat today, House of Mono and Miss Ray Sinette, the House of Mono, Monologue, my God, his fam. Appreciate y'all, man. Delta 3, love y'all, man. And that's it. Again, keep us lifted in prayer as we go through the week on our 9 to 5s. We got to be the light in this season. Be the light in the next season. Be the light. Y'all willing, you make it to the next season. Whatever you sow now, whatever seeds, whatever soil is the harvest for the next season. Okay, keep that in mind. All right. We love y'all. Peace. And until next time. Shalom.
I got a praise report.